Welcome everyone, Peter from Booster Busters here today. We've got the Flesh and Blood playmat out. That means today we're going to be focusing on Flesh and Blood. Now, not an opening, more so of a discussion. And what I want to discuss with you today is Flesh and Blood and the secondary market. The question comes up a lot, I see it on Reddit, on some other, card collecting forums, etc. Is there a secondary market for Flesh and Blood? Well, yes. Yes, there is. I know, even in crazy 2020, there is a good, healthy secondary market for Flesh and Blood. And really, if you stop and look at it, that fact alone, it just kind of amazes me that there is a secondary market for Flesh and Blood in 2020 with all the craziness that has, happened this year with the virus and everything and the lockdowns. I mean, it's just so hard for, products like this to survive. And yet here we have this game that against, these odds is doing incredibly well, and that shows me that the strategy that went into planning this game, making this game, and just some phenomenal work by Legend Story Studios. It really goes to show that this game has potential, and it makes me feel very, very confident about its future. So yes, there is a secondary market. We've got eBay, FaB Armory, we've got the Wrath Shop, Cleveland Card Sale, etc. If you go down towards, obviously New Zealand and Australia regions where this game's from, New Zealand, Legend Story Studios are from New Zealand, obviously you get more there and local shops as well. So there are places to go. I've just named a few. I'm not, affiliated with any of these places or connected to any of them or sponsored by any of them. I can be though, if you want to, hint. No, just a joke. But no, these are, just some places that I've seen myself, gone to myself to look at things, and was quite pleased with their selection. So do check them out. I'll put some links in the description, and feel free to call out more places, because again, this is not a list of favorites. Again, it's just some places that I myself personally have stumbled upon. But today my focus is going to be eBay. eBay and sold listings. So what is selling? Well, before we move on to the cards, let's talk about the playmats. The playmats for this game are selling incredibly well. Lots of sold listings. The prices are insane. I mean, we've got this regular playmat selling for $75, $80. What was one of the high ones? The Katsu playmat selling for over $100. That's crazy. So if you got a playmat of this, take good care of it, because I think these early beginning playmats are going to be pretty nice collector pieces. But let's move on to the cards. Just wanted to throw in that tidbit there about playmats. Let's start with boxes. Holy shit. Has anyone gone on eBay and checked the recent prices of boxes? Let's start with Welcome to Wrath, the first release box. Before we break down the prices, there's an important thing to notice, and it's going to be focused on time and something that happened. August 24th and earlier, these boxes, 70s, 80s, 90s, in dollar range, on eBay. Again, eBay sold listings. This is what they were selling for. Past August 25th, I mean, it's like an explosion. 350, high 400s, for a box of Welcome to Wrath. Again, sold. I'm not saying these are just listed prices. We're only looking at sold items. That is amazing. So what happened? Why the sudden explosion in price? Well, on August 25th, again, this is our important day breakdown. On August 25th, Legend Story Studios announces that Welcome to Wrath and Arcane Rising have sold incredibly well. Again, even in these crazy times, which is just so fantastic for this game, and it really shows that people love this game, they want to play this game. Honestly, I don't, I'm active on some of the forums, especially Reddit, even browsing some of the Facebook groups, etc. It is so hard to come by any negativity for this game. The only, negativity I'll say is people are like, I want a box, I can't get a box because I live in Europe, etc. It's hard to get, and that is true. But that's going to change soon. But other than that, everyone's super positive about this game, so not surprised that they've sold out. So Legend Story Studios says that they are done with the initial print run they had, and they're going to be doing a unlimited edition print run, reprinting both Welcome to Wrath and Arcane Rising. We'll talk about your prices in a second. So these are getting a reprint. It's going to be the unlimited edition, unlimited version reprint. Important to note, these, and it just didn't start, many people are saying, they started labeling the boxes with Arcane Rising. Nope, it happened with Welcome to Wrath. You'll see Welcome to Wrath is got the alpha print right there, marked right there, and then Arcane Rising is marked as first edition. So starting with this unlimited print run, the boxes will be marked as unlimited. It will be kind of like a red marking. Also, the booster packs themselves will have a unlimited flag there or so, defining that it's unlimited. There will be also a few differences between the cards. So what's happening with the cards themselves? It'll be the same cards. They'll be black bordered, no white bordered cards. They'll be black bordered. I know, in the Magic days, some people were kind of upset about Magic with their initial white borders. But I'm trying to remember 25-6 years ago. I probably was as well. I wasn't too happy with that. Now I kind of like them. Back then, wasn't too fond of them. Now I kind of like them. They're kind of different. But yeah, same cards, black border. There's going to be some improvements to the colors, some improvements to the templating, etc. Although honestly, and I haven't, opened a crazy ton of boxes because it's been hard for me to get them. But everything I've opened has been fantastic. The card quality, got a video on card quality with Flesh and Blood. As soon as I can get my hands on a Crucible of Horror box, hopefully in a month or so, I want to do a video update on the card quality, bring in Crucible of War as well, because the card quality has been fantastic. So I don't know what they're improving, what they're changing, but they said they would. The only difference is there will not be cold foils. So the fancy foiling that they do for the legendaries, etc. They're called cold foils. I'll show you a few cards with it in a moment when we talk about specific card prices. But it's a method Wizards is adopting now as well with their etched foils, or they're calling it foil etched in one video. I don't like that name. I like etched foils instead of, well, anyway, let's not. We're here to talk about Flesh and Blood, not Magic the Gathering. So yeah, that's the only difference. The cold foils will be rainbow foiled, which is the standard foiling for lower rarities in Flesh and Blood. So they won't be cold foiled, they'll be rainbow foiled. That's the difference. And obviously they're making some cosmetic differences to the cards as well a little bit. It'll be easier to read the rarity symbols as well on the card. So that's pretty cool. So you'll always be able to tell. You'll always be able to tell between the alpha print run, the first edition print run, and then the unlimited print run of these. So that's very cool. I like it. It's a good move. It's a good move for the early adopters. What? Because the early adopters are left, with what I personally think will be a highly collectible product. So if you supported the company early, invested early, bought early. It's a brand new card game. You never know how these things will go. But if you jumped on the bandwagon early, you are rewarded with a potentially high collectible item. And if you're a player, just care about the cards, well, fantastic. We've got an unlimited print run coming. Both of these sets, no changes to the cards, not removing any cards, etc. So, it's a win-win for everyone. So, let's get back to what has happened after August 25th. Like we said, these are selling in the $350 to high $400 range. That's amazing. That's amazing. Arcane Rising, same thing. Pre-August 25th, so August 24th and earlier. Again, we're selling in the 70, 80 range, dollar-wise, and now we're, 150s pushing to 200s. So, I mean, that's fantastic. That's amazing. We've got another print run coming. Question is this a good price? And honestly, no one can answer that question for you. Unfortunately, I know many folks would like to, well, should I dump $400 into this? Is it a good investment? No one knows, honestly. Only time will tell. Personally, now you can make an educated, while no one knows what the future will hold, etc. No one's a mind reader. No one can predict the future. No one knows what's going to happen to the company, to the cards, to the game. It's just too many variables. Now you can make an educated, decision based on the signs and based on looking at things that the company's doing. Are they making the right decisions? What's the card quality like? What's the reception like? Are people playing this game? Do they like playing this game? Do they have ideas? How are the mechanics of the game? Are people complaining, about the mechanics? Is there tournament play? Is there organized play? There's things you can look at and signs to look for. And to me personally, to me, I think all the right things are happening with Flesh and Blood. Legend Story Studios is doing all the right things, in my opinion, from the start. They've labeled the sets. They've got, you will be able to tell apart between the printings, which is very nice from a collector standpoint. They are giving the cards to the players, right? They're doing the unlimited print run. Players have asked for better accessibility, so they're getting the product out. If you look at, balancing and gameplay, you'll see a lot of positive responses there. So again, if all this keeps up, do I think these are a good investment? Yes, I do. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if a few years from now you'd see, this Welcome to Wrath box as a $1,000 box. 3, 4, 5 years from now, I would not be surprised if things keep going the way they are. That's the fine print there. But no one knows. Only time will tell. I mean, we saw what happened with Force of Will. It's easy to kind of destroy a card game and get your community negative. So only time will tell. But I'm very, very hopeful. All the right things are being done so far. Most importantly, designed by gamers for gamers. Now, this isn't just an empty statement. If you look into the history of this game, it was in design. Oh, I don't want to, misquote or anything, but I want to say 7 years, 8 years. I mean, it was all behind the scenes, testing, designing for a long, long time before they released anything. And these are people that love card games, that love cards, that love their game. They're not, at least my impression, I don't know any of the folks personally, but everything I see, as a customer, as a, public-facing items I see coming from them, everything is just done with care for the game, care for the cards, care for the players, care for the collectors. So that makes me very confident in this product, and personally, yeah, I think these will be worth quite a bit of money someday. Okay, dragging on, but let's move away from the boxes. Let's talk about some cards. We know the boxes are selling. Are cards selling? Well, let's look at a few examples here. So we've got Stormstriders and Arcanite Skullcap. These are both legendary cards. Again, for those of you new to the game, right here in the bottom, you've got the card rarity, you've got the set, card number, card rarity. Again, this will be a little bit better visible in the unlimited print run. You'll get a color coding on the rarity symbol. Very cool. Again, these use cold foiling. My reflection from my windows behind me is probably not going to do it justice at all, because it's gonna pick up the glare, and the top loaders and the sleeves don't help. It's just a glare machine. But again, the cold foiling is just awesome. It's fantastic. So these two cards, let me get better focus for you guys. Apologies. So Stormstrider, again, we're only looking at sold listings on eBay. $80, $90 selling, no problem. Arcanite Skullcap, $120, $160, no problem at all. Now, fine print there. These are the sold listings before the announcement. I haven't seen a sale pop up yet after the unlimited print one announcement. Honestly, I expect any of the Alpha, First Edition, Arcane Rising, Legendaries to go up in price. Fableds, Legendaries, simply because of the cold foiling, simply because, the cards will be different. They will be present, but they're just not going to be cold foiled. They will be rainbow foiled. So I think these will definitely see an uptick in price. The other, kind of sought after cards, we've got Spring Tunic, which is a popular legendary, in the 300s range. We've got the Heart of Findal, which is a fabled card. Again, even rarer than the legendary. I love the chase cards. To me, any card game, any set, I love collecting. I love cracking packs. Booster Busters. It's not the name of this channel for no reason. I love it when there's a chase card. It just the thrill, the joy of opening packs is just fantastic. So the Heart is fabled, selling in the 400s to the high 500s range. Again, I'm very curious to see what happens in the coming months after the unlimited print one. By the way, I didn't mention it. Unlimited looks like it will be available in November-ish from the announcement. In stores, there's no official release date, so stores can sell it when they get it. So perhaps some places will get it earlier, maybe even late October. We'll see. But yeah, Is anything else selling? Yes, Majestics are selling. It's another rarity, in the $15-$60 range. Again, eBay sold. Look for cards. I mean, we've got Art of War, High Octane. What else? Steelblade Supremacy for the Warrior deck. They're all selling quite well, and that's really the point I want to make here. It's not really to talk about prices, to talk about investing. It's just in general to make people aware that there is quite a good, healthy secondary market for these. And all the decisions by the company, at least again, in my opinion, are good and right for the secondary market. They've created a collectible product with the alpha first edition print runs that will satisfy collectors. They've brought the unlimited print run to satisfy gamers, or the people that just want the cards in their hands and don't necessarily care about the alpha fancy version. They just want the card. And that, in my opinion, that is a right move. Hero decks are selling very well on eBay, $10 to $15. Again, while we talked about some high prices here, one thing I want to note is that the entry level to this game is not that bad. The hero decks, are the pre-constructed decks. They're not bad to start out with, honestly. $10 to $15. Snag, maybe 3-4 boosters just to kind of play around with some of the cards and fill them in. Or wait until the unlimited print run comes and you're back to getting boxes for $70-$80. It's not a bad entry level as well. So it's not a crazy secondary market where it's inaccessible to normal players and it's only for whales and crazy rich collectors. No, it's very again, in my opinion, very healthy and really, really bodes well for the future of this game. All right, so that was a long-winded talk about the Flesh and Blood secondary market and Flesh and Blood print run changes. Again, if you're curious, go to eBay, sort by sold. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'll post links in the chat to the places I've mentioned, for singles. If you're aware of any other good places, feel free to mention them. Again, like I said in the beginning, I'm not connected to any of these stores. It's just some places I've noticed personally that do really have good inventory and what I feel are good prices. So best of luck. Hopefully soon. I've been trying to get one to Europe here, but hopefully soon I can get a Crucible of War box for you guys to open here. And we can take a look at those, then do a follow-up on card quality. And in the meantime, best of luck to everyone on your pulls. Enjoy the game. Enjoy collecting if you're just a collector. I love collecting, so definitely don't need to be a player to enjoy this one. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening if anyone made it to the end here. And hope to catch you soon.